Those deadly floods in May raised Lake Travis to its highest level in years, bringing a lot more boaters out on the water. But a tragic boating accident on the lake is bringing new focus to safety after a 5-year-old girl died while celebrating the 4th of July weekend. Alicia Inns has some important reminders before you hit the water.
Good afternoon. It was just last week I was out here along the lake talking about the water levels, how they are up. Obviously great news for people that want to get out on the water. But when you talk about all the traffic that the water sees, you get some higher waves, you get a lot of moving parts out on the water, and that is cause for concern in terms of safety. Now, 5-year-old Haley Falk, she was hit and killed by a ski pole that was on board her family's boat while they were out on the Lake Travis here over the 4th of July weekend. Texas Parks and Wildlife, they are now investigating that accident. And you know, while there are some certain tragic accidents that just can't be prevented, there's still plenty that you can do to stay safe while out on the water, like storing any loose items in proper storage locations on the boat. Make sure you always have your safety equipment readily accessible in case of an emergency, and then always make sure that you know where you are and how to get a hold of emergency personnel.
We look at ways to avoid these tragedies in the future. How can we make sure the boating public is aware of safe boating practices and the best recreating? In certain cases, it's just ultimately a tragedy that cannot be avoided.
Now, little Haley's family sharing some memories with us from the weekend. They also talk about how they've set up a GoFundMe page. They also have a Facebook page to honor Haley. If you'd like to pay your respects in that way, we've put a link in the online version at KXAN.com. Reporting from Lake Travis, Alicia Inns, KXAN News.
And the Texas Parks and Wildlife oversees boaters across the state. They have 532 game wardens patrolling the water every single day. On top of that, they rely on about 700 officers from local agencies. Texas Parks and Wildlife says this past 4th of July weekend was one of the busiest weekends simply because of the high lake levels. They say they made contact with about 47,000 boaters across the state, arresting 63 for operating their boat while drunk.